Good morning. We have not had a shower yet. We are up, we are dressed, and it is a disembarkation day. Within the next, 24 hours, we will be home. Yeah. It's going to be a big process. There are planes, there are trains, there are buses involved, all the transports. So we're going to head for breakfast in a moment. Have our final breakfast. I think we're going to go for Razzle Dazzle. But I woke up and I got a text from my parents to say, look over your balcony, you might be able to see us. They are on the ship that is docked right opposite, so I'll show you the ship now. There we go. I can see my parents. There they are waiting. There they are. There's my dad and mum. Woo! Okay, so my parents are on the TUI Marella Discovery. There they are. So I managed to get a little bit of a zoomed in footage of them, which I will insert somewhere. But there they are. They are only here, obviously, for a day. We're only here, literally, we're getting off the ship and then getting a Uber to the airport. So we may be able to coordinate a very brief meeting. Maybe, maybe not. We'll have to see. See you soon. Oh, disembarkation 7:30 to 10:30 a.m. There is Richard himself. Oh yes, fuel up before you go. Goodbyes are hard, but a tasty breakfast will make the morning easier. Getting a table for breakfast at Razzle Dazzle. We're inside of Razzle Dazzle we've never been before. This is going to be interesting. I'll come over here. There we go. So we've never been here before. And of course there is my waffle, and I'll show you the pour this time. I don't think I've showed you before. There we go, look at that. It's absolutely delicious. Matt's waiting for his chicken burger.
It's coming, I can see it.
There is Matt's burger and fries. Yes. Okay, so we've just had breakfast and I'm back on the balcony to get a final look. And yeah, I'm not sure when my parents are allowed off the ship because it's come from Barbados, they had to go through immigration. So I'm trying to coordinate if we can see them when we get off the ship. So yes, but it's quite a nice day. Looks like a nice day in San Juan. So yes, I'm not looking forward to all the travel that's ahead of us. Just enjoying the hammock for the final time. We have all of our luggage. Well, this is my outfit for the day. I put trousers on because it's going to be freezing back in the UK.
Weird wearing trousers.
I know. Goodbye room, goodbye ship. It's time to say goodbye. We are disembarking the ship, going into the main terminal. Goodbye ship. Goodbye Valiant Lady. Hello, homeward journey home. Thank you. Bye bye. So that was really, really painless. We could recycle our bands in the bins or hand it to one of the personnel staff. Then you just show your passport as you disembark, and there you go. You can leave the main cruise terminal. Oh my goodness, so it's a little bit cloudy in port today. We've just met my parents. It seems so surreal meeting with them here of all places, but they're really enjoying their ship. They're on the Marella Discovery, and we're about to find a taxi to take us to the airport. One final look at the ship while we wait for our taxi. JetBlue, that's us. Back at the airport. We are now waiting to board our plane, and I think our plane is the one you can see right out of the window. People don't quite know how to queue, so they've called Disability and Mosaic, which is the specialty passengers, first, but everyone's just got up. We are boarding Group B, so you're not going to get on the plane any quicker by standing up there and just blocking everyone who needs to get on. So yes, take a tip from British people, learn how to queue. We made it on board. It was a bit of a scrum to get on, but we're here. And if you look out of the window, it's really, really sunny. So all those grey skies that we saw earlier in San Juan have now gone. past the teeny tiny planes, and we are almost ready for takeoff. We've made it to JFK. We are back in the departure lounges. We are gate 21. We've got about 15-20 minutes until we can board, and then it's homeward bound to Gatwick, and then we've got a big train journey after that as well. Here we are, we've made it on our second flight. So here's our main meal. It is meatball salad. We've got mac and cheese and a salad. You can see land, and I think it might be possibly Brighton. Hi everybody, we are back home and it's actually June. I'm filming the end of this Virgin Voyages vlog in June because I've only just got round to editing what you've just been watching, and I realised that the video ended rather abruptly with the plane landing back in the UK. So I wanted to tell you what happened when we got back, when we landed, and then I'll do a quick recap of the cruise. So Matt's actually working at the moment, so it's just me. But I am wearing my Valiant Lady long sleeve top that I bought on board, and I do have my trusty Virgin Voyages mug, which I have used every single day since we came back in January. So that was a big hit. These purchases I do not regret. Okay, so we landed, and I said it was going to be a nightmare, and it absolutely was. The flight back, the chairs did not recline, even though the plane was pretty much, well, it was pretty much empty. The crew would not allow us to move to the seats behind that could recline. So we were up for the whole flight, backs rigid. Although the flight only took it was only about 7 hours. It was really quick coming back. We had a good wind behind us and that made us up some time. But our journey was not over when we landed. We had to get a train into London, then we had to ride a little bit of the underground, then we had to catch a train from Euston to Birmingham, and then we were picked up. So it took another probably 4 hours to get home. We were exhausted. I didn't film anything, and when we got home, we just wanted to rest and see the cats. And anyway, so that was a bit of a nightmare travel journey home. I have learned more than one thing about what I like to do and what I don't like to do when it comes to travel. So in the future, it's okay when you have a connecting flight, but I stress over whether or not we're going to miss the connection. So in the future, when we book holidays, I am going to try and book something that only has a single flight. Now, there is not any direct flights from the UK to San Juan, so we had to do a connecting. But if ever we have to do a connecting flight in the future, what I would like to do is go to one place, maybe spend 3 days there. So if we were doing that route again, maybe we'd fly to New York, have about 3 days there, and then get a connecting flight to wherever our final destination is. I don't think I like doing it so close together. It's not really for me, to be quite honest. So the next holiday we take, I think we'll have a direct flight. Second thing that I've learned is I do like on a long haul flight. I don't care about short haul, but on a long haul flight, I do require a seat that goes back. And I'm not one of these people that pushes it all the way back when, encroaching onto someone else. What I mean is at the time when, when the lights go low and everyone, is encouraged to go to sleep, when everyone puts their chair back, I want to be able to recline as well. So I've learnt that. I've also learned that when we come back on the return journey, I don't care how much it costs. I will factor it into the cost of the holiday. I require a vehicle waiting at the airport to collect us and transport us home immediately. I don't want 4 hours to get home after a long haul flight. Bearing in mind, we'd actually been, even though the flight was about 7 hours, we'd already had a connecting flight and we were actually up 24 hours at that point. We were exhausted. I was done. Matt was literally leading me by the hand, pulling our suitcases up and down stairs. It was a nightmare. So we require a vehicle at the end. Anyway, that was the nightmare journey home. Let's now talk about the actual cruise. We had a fantastic time. I really do feel like we had a tour of the Caribbean. Doing 2 7-night back-to-back cruises was exhausting though, because these 2 cruises were packed full of port. So if you love port days, then these are the 2 cruises for you out of San Juan, because on Valiant Lady, because packed full. I think we only had in total maybe 4 sea days in the entire cruise. I could have actually done with more. I know people say, a sea day, but actually the sea days are whatever you make them. You can make them as busy or as quiet as you want. We were quite active on our sea days. There were lots of things that we wanted to take part in. On the second cruise, we were with friends. We were with Favour and Rob from Life with Favour. So yeah, we wanted to go out and do things, but it was exhausting. I felt like we didn't really have much downtime other than when we went to port. We normally would find a beach and then we'd sort of just vegetate in the sea. So that was actually quite nice. But yeah, I could have done with more sea days. It wouldn't have really bothered me if there had been more. Our one regret in terms of ports was Guadeloupe. There isn't actually that much to do at the port in Guadeloupe. So I would say book a tour, book an excursion and go off and experience that. That's our one port regret. But all the other ports, we were happy with what we did, especially swimming with turtles. That was a real highlight, and just hanging out in the beaches. I liked the organised tours when we drive through and you get to see actually where real people live on the islands. I now have a new appreciation for when, for example, members of the British royal family go on a foreign tour and how busy it is. I kind of felt like we were on, like a royal tour. We saw so much and we did so much, and it was always nice to come back to the ship. Now, the ship. Obviously, all of Virgin Voyages fleet at the moment are pretty much the same design with a few interior tweaks here and there, but it's essentially the same ship. Doesn't matter which one you go on. So the ship was familiar to us from when we sailed Scarlet Lady 2 years prior. So there wasn't any big, we knew what we were getting into, basically. We loved our room. We had to change rooms. So I would say make sure that you, if you're doing a back-to-back, make sure you book the same room, so you haven't got to change halfway through. We did. It wasn't a big deal, but I would have preferred not to have changed room. Anyway, the food was fantastic. It was out of this world. They have made some tweaks since the previous cruise 2 years ago, in particular to the test kitchen and Razzle Dazzle. The menus have slightly changed, and like portion sizes and things like that. When I say portion sizes, I'm talking about the blue cheese in the test kitchen, which is now at least half, which is actually okay. That was because there was too much blue cheese. They have listened to feedback. We didn't get to take part in everything. We didn't do the We Fancy night, just because we missed it, basically. There was so much going on. So even on a back-to-back cruise for 14 days, you are not going to experience everything, even though we tried to do so. Food was amazing. You cannot beat Virgin for being an all-inclusive. There are a few upscale, upcharge items on the menus, but it's things like lobster or tomahawk steak. So pretty much everything food-wise is included. The variety of restaurants is fantastic. Even though we booked some of our dinner reservations a little bit later in the evening, there was no trouble when we turned up early. They would usually accommodate us, so there wasn't any trouble there. When it comes to booking the excursions, we were a little bit late booking, so they'd all kind of sold out before we went on the cruise. During the cruise, more places opened up. I think they laid on more coaches or whatever, so we were able to book and use our onboard credit to do that. We didn't spend all of our onboard credit, all of our drinks credit. We spent the onboard credit, but not the drinks credit. The drinks, we couldn't drink the amount. We had about $750 each cruise to spend. We did not get anywhere close, even with buying a huge bottle of champagne at the end of the cruise. So the ports are really, really good. I think they're still learning sort of what to put on the ports. The food was fantastic. The entertainment we really loved. They'd really sort of changed up. Some of the shows had got more budget. The onboard drag queen Carlos was amazing, a woman named Carlos. Obviously the hostess is always amazing on Virgin Cruises. We really enjoyed it. We would book again. We didn't do we didn't reserve another cruise, purely because we don't know what we're doing next time. We don't know what's happening in life, and we don't know when we are able to go away. So I'm giving a few clues there. But yes, things might be happening in life, and we don't know when we're next available to go away. So we didn't pre-book a cruise. Although if you do, I think you have 2 years to book your next voyage. So we would like to, if we were going to do another one, we'd like to do the Mediterranean. That would be fantastic, a little bit closer to home as well, so not so much travel, but we would love to do a Virgin Voyages in the Med. I think we've been spoiled with travelling Virgin Voyages. I think a lot of other cruises charge extra for things. I think we would really miss the inclusivity of everything that's involved with Virgin. The staff are so happy. The crew are so happy, and I think they are genuinely happy. It was lovely to see them walking around the ship when they were not working and sat down and eating in the restaurants and things. So that was nice. It was really nice. Oh, another highlight was seeing Richard Branson and the fireworks. That was fantastic. Really loved seeing that. That was magical on the first cruise. So yeah, fantastic. And I'm going to end this series here. So thank you if you have watched all of the vlogs. And we hope to see you next time, the next time we go on holiday or cruise again. So until next time, mwah to you all and goodbye.